Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
It's a new year, and with T-Mobile, it's not about how far apart we are. It's about how close we can be. So we're bringing out our best deal. Right now, get the iPhone 12 on us on every single plan with eligible iPhone trade-in.
So I can FaceTime with my sister in Savannah.
That's right, the iPhone 12 on us on every plan. All on America's 5G leader in coverage. T-Mobile.
With 24 monthly bill credits and a new line plus tax. If you cancel, credit stop and balance on required finance agreement may be due. Contact us for well-qualified buyers. Qualifying consumer plan required. See coverage and offer details at T-Mobile.com.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Sport G, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions.
And now, here are your hosts.
Welcome to Sport G number 123. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm the Iceman.
And yeah, you are the Iceman, because you're the only one of us that picked fucking Clemson.
That's about the only game I won, ain't it?
Actually, yeah. Well, not the... Yeah, you won your best week.
The Cowboys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you picked the Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's like one of the only teams you picked along with the rest of us. But anyway, yeah. Bama didn't... what the fuck happened in the national championship game?
Bama showed up thinking that they were the shit and everybody needs to just bow down. And Clemson was like, yeah, okay, watch this.
Well, not only that, but these are two teams that are rather familiar with each other in this game. And I got to think that, Earl, you said it in the group chat, Clemson ain't afraid of Alabama anymore. They're like, yeah, we've seen you guys, 4 times in 5 years? Something like that? In the national championship game? I mean,
Clemson's like, go Bama, go home.
And hey, you have two teams that play each other. They get to the coaches and get to know each other's tendencies, et cetera, et cetera. It happens. And I mean, I also have to wonder how much of it is just pure cockiness on Alabama's part, kind of like, oh, we got this. Because even we've been guilty of it. We've talked them up. I mean, we've talked shit like, oh yeah, they had to beat last year's Browns easy. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Well,
they hear all that.
Right, but throughout the year, though, that was true. They would walk into a stadium and people would be, oh, fuck. Even before that, they would just, can we just forfeit and give it to them and just not endure the ass whooping?
Yeah.
But
can we just say they scored 50 and go home?
Right, but that happens on all walks of life. You just see the bigger batter and you're like, oh, damn it, he's here. We're all done. It doesn't matter what it is, pool, bowling, football, doesn't matter. But Clemson is that one, I don't give a fuck. I ain't the baddest guy on the block, but I ain't scared, type of shit. Let's go. And that first series that Bama had, they showed it. They picked off and ran it back for a pick six and was like, okay, Tua, good job. You and your dancing daddy. What about it? They gave them no respect that wasn't earned. Everybody has to give Bama respect when they come into the stadium. Oh my God, careful. Tua's the man. They could put up 50 points on anybody, and their receiving core is the shit, and their running back can't be stopped. Their defense is deadly. And if you go into any stadium, I don't care if it is a pro team, you go into any stadium against a team like that with a mindset like that, you've already been beat. Clemson went in there obviously with the mindset of come get it. You want your respect, come earn it. And they sure the fuck didn't. They played like they already had it.
Well, don't underestimate how much a team can get up for another team for a single game. I mean, look at Ohio State, Michigan this year, or how overconfident a team can get about a single game.
Look at Ohio State, Michigan.
Michigan this year. Yeah. It happens, man. And I mean, Nick Saban, hey, look, you are human after all. Okay, good to know. Now, the problem is there's 118 other college football teams that aren't Clemson who can't do that. So, he's still in some rare air. Alabama's still in some rare air situation as far as, their dominance on the field.
Yeah, but Dabo Swinney and Clemson are one of 3 teams that ever went 15-0 in the season. ain't been done since the 1800s. I mean, talk about rare.
No, absolutely.
No, man. I watched that game from Jump Street. I said, "Oh shit," because I saw it. Bama played with the cocky, we're Bama. Just sit back and let us do our thing. And Clemson was like, "That's not how this is going down. It's just not."
Yes. Bend over. Time to get railed. Like, I was watching it, like, peripherally on the plane. Like, Alabama didn't even show up second half. They played, like, most of the first half. Second half, they're like, nah, fuck it. We're just staying in the locker room.
We're retiring at halftime.
Yeah. Pull Devontae Davis.
No, they did, man. It was sick. But, I mean, there's no other way to put it. Tua came in with I'm Tua. I'm the Samoan. I'm going to put up points on you. It's how it's going to go down. And Clemson just came in with, like, okay, show me. Oh, you can't show me. That's okay.
I'm going to show you this.
Right. Pick six. Say it.
Yeah, he was like, I'm Tua. I'm the Samoan. They're like, no, you Tony Rockahora. You got thrown out of you got thrown out a window for touching Marcellus Wallace's woman's feet. How you feeling, Tua? I'm pretty fucking far from all right, man. First of all, no one need know about this.
You know what's ironic and kind of fucked up is Alabama and Tua looked a hell of a lot like the Texans with Deshaun Watson. And why that's ironic is because Deshaun Watson was the Heisman winner for Clemson a couple of years ago.
It's true. But,
yeah, the Texans just looked all kinds of fucking what the fuckins this weekend. And then
easy, buddy.
Alabama.
Still talk college.
No, I am talking college, but Alabama looked the exact same way because Deshaun Watson threw a pick and was like, oh, that's on me. And then the first fucking series, Bama was like, oh, Tua, pick, that's on me. I got it. That's my fault. I was like, God damn, am I watching a replay with different uniforms? What happened?
Well, doesn't it speak to a little bit of overconfidence, a little bit of cockiness maybe?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Both teams, I mean, seriously. I don't think anybody saw or even talked this week about Clemson coming in and being dominant.
Hell no.
Being the ones to watch.
Hell no. It was Alabama's to lose.
Everybody said that this is going to be Tua's audition tape, his audition game. This is going to get him first round, first pick overall.
Well, I mean, I know I wasn't on the show because I missed, some shows obviously, but I will say this, and I can't, all I can do is say I said it to a friend of mine, but, so take it for what it's worth. I did say these two teams are pretty much head and shoulders above every other team this year of college football. I mean, that's why it's kind of shocking. Yes, I understand they've met a bunch of times, but this is like the lowest rated, national championship game since they went to the playoff format. And
no doubt. This should have been a shootout. This should have absolutely been a back and forth, no holds barred. I scored. The last one who has the ball wins.
Which is kind of what I was thinking it was going to be, honestly.
Yeah.
What it was last year. Well, last year wasn't it Alabama and Georgia? Or was it Clemson? Oh, anyway. I just remember last year was a shootout. It's a lot closer.
I mean, but now this is where to me it gets interesting. Okay. Because you have the inevitable, is this the beginning of the end for Nick Saban talk? And, to that I just have to say, Nick Saban isn't Harbaugh. Michigan goes, 10-3? And people were like, oh, yeah, but they still had a good season. They had 10 wins, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but look who they lost to and how they lost. That's an issue. They still can't beat Ohio State. You want to get right down to it. Every team they beat that they had lost to in previous seasons were on a down year for the most part. That's not what's going on with Alabama. Alabama's just running into the other elite team in college football at the time.
The only other one, because Notre Dame proved that they'll try again next year when they play Clemson. Their big 3 points.
Yeah, well, yeah. But and Oklahoma's
and winning the Heisman. Thanks for playing.
You know, the whole is this the beginning of the end for Saban? I think I think that people are wanting to bury the body before he's been pronounced dead.
Yeah, Rich, I'm going to go.
This guy isn't even close to his deathbed.
Yeah, Rich, I'm going to go with you on this one. It's a quote Rich says a lot. Your crack pipe must be hot to the touch if you think that this is the beginning of the end for Nick Saban.
Yeah, because there's plenty. If this is the beginning of the end for Nick Saban, then Alabama, let him go, because there's plenty of other college football teams that'd be happy to have Nick Saban at the end of his career.
In the last 10 years, since 2009, he has 5 national championships. Past that crack if you think this is the beginning of the end for Nick Saban. Because I want to try that shit.
That's not counting all the times he's been in the national championship game.
Yeah, I'm talking about that he's won.
That he's won.
He's won 6 in his coaching career, 5 all in the last 10 years.
And this isn't the Super Bowl. This is the national championship, and people have just said it's a victory to be in the game, whether you lose or not.
Obviously,
they're just happy to have been there.
Obviously, Nick Saban's teams don't feel that way for the most part.
No.
He is 141-21 in Alabama. Get the fuck out of here, whoever is saying.
Wait a minute, 141-21? Oh, yeah, he's got to go.
Yeah.
He can come to Michigan.
That's Les Miles numbers right there.
He is 232-63-1 in his whole college coaching career. He's only lost 63 games in his entire college career.
It's the one that tie. That's you got to get out.
He's 6-3 in the college football playoffs.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. This guy's but 15-17 the
NFL? Well, you know how sports fans are, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
is this it? No. Absolutely not.
But, yeah, it's, overall, unless you were a Clemson fan, seriously underwhelming game.
Even if you were a Clemson fan, you weren't happy. You're like, God damn it, I got to sit through the rest of it before we can go out and party. Can't we just blow the whistle and wave the flag? Throw the towel. Throw the goddamn towel. Rocky and shit, We
want to party. Can we it's over? No, you have to finish the game.
Bama comes out to living in America. And meanwhile, Clemson's just standing there like, if he dies, he dies.
Has a black guy sitting next to him. Throw the towel. Throw the goddamn towel.
So any other thoughts on the college football season that was, gentlemen? Well, Rich, you haven't been on since Michigan's awesome performance in the Peach Bowl.
Oh, Jesus, God. Except for the last 2 games of the season for Michigan, it was an entertaining season for me. It actually, it started off with, okay, fuck that. I'm not getting my hopes up, to, okay, I'm guardedly optimistic, to, they might have a shot, to, no, this is Harbaugh. He's gonna screw the pooch on the last 2 games of the season, because those are the games he can't win at Michigan. And that's exactly what happened. But I mean, I'd be stupid to say I didn't enjoy the season. So as a Michigan fan, yeah. As someone who looks at the Big Ten and realizes that the Big Ten has more political power in the NCAA than they do on the field, no, it wasn't good. Because it's still the SEC, baby.
The glaring stat from the Peach Bowl is something I brought up on this podcast. 1-9 against top 10 teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Easy there, Sparty.
Hey, this is we're not talking about Michigan State right now. We're talking about University of Michigan.
Well, I mean, at least
how's the Oregon looking?
I was going to say, yeah, at least Michigan
scored a touchdown.
Yeah, acted like they wanted to be there. I mean, it was oof. I had a buddy who took a day off from work, And, he texted me about 20 minutes into the game, was like, I should have just fucking came to work today, man. This is a waste of fucking time off.
Yeah. Half of the Michigan State football team decided to stay home and watch Redbox.
Preserve their body for the NFL and shit.
Oh, here we go.
Well, that talk has started. Hey, what are these guys playing for if they're not in the playoffs?
And on the show you missed, I brought up to the point of Earl. I brought the point up to Earl. My tune has kind of changed on this because we are in the day and age of 41 bowl games. Back when they were all on New Year's Day and there was 10 of them, I'd maybe be a little bit more outraged that these guys were sitting out their bowl games. But when the bowl games start fucking 10 days before Christmas and go until fucking 2 weeks after Christmas, it's a little ridiculous.
And everybody has a bowl game.
Like, we've talked about it. These guys got a limited amount of time to make this money. If they're not getting, if their bowl game's not worth it, why?
Well,
get your paper.
If they're expecting to get more players interested in playing in these bowl games, then they have to swallow their pride. They have to say, we took too limited we started off with too limited of a scope here to have 4 teams playing in the playoffs. We need to expand it to at least 8. And that might mean some serious realignment in the college football world. That might mean making 4 super conferences of 16 teams. Keep the independents and then a couple wild cards, something like that. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, to be honest with you, because I listened to a show that was it was a national show. I can't remember what show it was, but I mean they ran through every scenario, the pros and the cons, and it was just constantly. Ultimately, the ultimate con in all of this was the NCAA ain't going for it. That and Notre Dame is not joining a conference. That's not going to happen.
Why? I don't understand that. That is one of the biggest mysteries in sports to me. The fuck do they know? Don't they want to be in a conference? Because it makes them more special? Because, we're Notre Dame.
Well, yeah. I mean, dude, Notre Dame, you want to talk about a team that skated by for decades on their reputation? It was Notre Dame. I mean, there was 2 decades there where the only 2 reasons anyone still knew who the fuck Notre Dame was in the college football world is because, one, they had a contract with NBC, so NBC played all their games. By the way, a contract that was signed when they were still dominant, when they were playing games that mattered against teams like Miami and shit. And 2, the movie Rudy. Otherwise, you'd have a whole generation going, I don't give a fuck about no touchdown, Jesus, Golden Dome, that gay-ass shit. I don't care.
Lou Holtz.
Yeah, Lou Holtz, that old crazy guy?
Lou Holtz.
That's the guy.
Like, he coached them? Jesus, how old is that motherfucker? That was kind of the response you would get. And then,
how long has Notre Dame been around? That's rhetorical.
It was 2005 when Charlie Weiss went there, and Brady Quinn, and the quote unquote resurgence. Jeff Samardzija was his target. He was a dual sport threat and all that shit. He ended up going into baseball instead, which is probably a good move because he still has a career. Whereas if he went into football, his career would probably be over by now.
He's technically still playing baseball, yes.
But I mean, that was like their little oop, we're coming back up. Nope, hold on a sec, just kidding.
Yeah.
But it brought them back into the national college football consciousness. But yeah, Notre Dame's not joining. No, they're not. They're not going to do that. If they haven't done it in 100 years, they're not going to do it anytime soon.
We're Notre Dame.
And it's, the NCAA, man.
You got to have their tradition.
I guess. I mean, I don't claim to know the inner workings and politics that go on behind the scenes of college football, as well as this. I mean, the whole show was about how could they expand the college football playoff system. And they went deep into it. I mean, it was an hour-long show. You know, throwing in 3-4 commercial breaks. I mean, every scenario you could think of. I can't even remember all the scenarios they threw out there. And they just picked them apart.
Like, all right, Michigan burns to the ground. Has to merge Michigan State. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, from like, there are no more conference championship games. You know, you just, where you finish is where you finish. And then, you know, your winning percentage and points for or points against, you know, would be the tiebreaker and et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, you know, like, what was it? What team was it went undefeated last year? That was like a second tier college football team, and they were pissed that they didn't.
UCF.
Yes, Central Florida.
Yeah, that when they finally played, didn't they get just raped in their bowl game because they finally played a real
this year?
Team? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Didn't they finally played a real team and it shut everybody up? Didn't they just get smoked?
They did.
Good.
But, you know, we've kind of covered it. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if you have, you know, Michigan and Ohio State to end the year, to end the Big Ten regular season, and then boom, they meet in the playoffs? And I mean, you know, my attitude is, and that's an instant rematch.
UCF didn't really get smoked, but by the score, if you look at the score, they weren't smoked. It was 32-40, but LSU beat the shit out of them, and then played all their seniors for a while, and they caught up.
But yeah,
LSU smacked that ass.
So I don't know what the answer is to get more players to play. I mean, besides, okay, well, pay them.
Yeah, pay them.
I mean, maybe, but even then, it's not like they're going to come up off enough money compared to even a rookie contract in the NFL.
But maybe you'd like you some type of bonus structure. Hey, you make it to a bowl game and you play, you get an extra X amount of dollars. Isn't that the Brady way?
Yeah, but they're not going to pay college students. They're just not, dude.
Well, I mean, there's also you have to take into consideration that I think within the next 5 years, you're probably going to either, if it doesn't happen by the end of 5 years, there's going to be a big push for it. You're gonna see a lot of people wanting the NFL go to 18-game season.
Yeah, bitch.
If they do that, then they can rationalize having, you know, an 8-team college football playoff system, or even more. You know what I'm saying? Like, go full on, just like the NFL. Because, hey, if you're going to go to the NFL, you might as well get used to playing this many games. Mm-hmm. So,
shorten the preseason by 2 weeks, throw in a third bye week, done. 18-game season.
Well, they're not going to shorten preseason because that's where they don't have to pay the players, and two, the owners make tons of money because they charge full price for that shit. I mean, there's nothing discounted in preseason football, like for the fan to go to the game. Everything is still the exact same price as regular season. Parking, concessions, tickets, everything. Oh, and if you want them season tickets, yeah, you have to pay full price for the preseason tickets, the 2 home games.
How about for everybody around? You get to play the Ford Motor Company Bowl, and the most valuable player in that bowl gets a brand new truck.
Oh no, man! You might want to bump that up from a Ford to like a Lexus.
Yeah.
See, now you're just being greedy. First you said, give him some money. Give him some money. And I said, okay, give him a brand new truck. You were like,
you're dealing with millionaires. You're dealing with millionaires. Ford truck ain't shit.
I'll take a Ford truck.
I want to, but neither of us are millionaires.
Exactly.
I'll sell that shit quick.
You know, hey.
You're like, nice. Did you get a brand new truck? What? No. Where'd you get all this money? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Sportsy. ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
The way too early Vegas odds came out for next year, and I had to laugh my ass off.
How high is Michigan ranked?
14-1.
The University of Michigan?
Yes.
Okay. Like, on what? The hockey team to win the Frozen Four?
No. I think they're like, they have the 5th best odds, according to Vegas, of winning the national championship next year.
Based on what? Sorry, I have to keep from yelling. I'm in a hotel. Based on what?
The fact
that this season said that they were going to be the 5th best team in college football next year.
I don't know.
They couldn't even be the 4th best team in college football.
I guess based on the fact that they lost their linebackers coach to Ohio State. They lost 2 coaches to Ohio State in the span of the last 2 days. I don't know.
God, that's the shit that just pisses me off about that block in. Based on what? You're 1-9 against top 10 teams. You got fucking destroyed by Ohio State your final game, and you fucking got embarrassed in your bowl game. Where is this coming from? You beat most of the Big Ten. Look at their records this year. I wouldn't be bragging about that shit.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like winning the Special Olympics. You might come in first, but you're still retarded. So,
it's like 11 o'clock. I know I got neighbors. Try not to yell, but good God, man.
That's it. That block M, man, buys you a lot of good faith, I guess. And hey, I'm a Michigan fan. I'm not a Michigan slappy. You know, I'm like I don't get it either. Because because you know how I feel about it at this point. It just sets up Michigan for the fall. That's all it does at this point. It just sets up all the Sparties and Buckeyes when they don't live up to their preseason rankings, when they don't live up to all the hype, to go, ha ha, see, we told you. And I'm getting tired of it. How about this? How about be the underdogs? And by the way, earn that fucking, 5th in line for the national championship, according to Vegas. Instead of, well, that block M, that automatically buys you enough, panache for, or whatever.
So you're telling me that it goes Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma, Georgia, and then Michigan? Get the fuck out of here. There's no.
Yeah, we're living in Ohio State. Oh wait, no.
Yeah. This is like Sesame Street. One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, Urban Meyer's gone out of Ohio State, so no the Ohio State anyway.
So is it hot seat time for Harbaugh?
Like we talked about after the Ohio State game. Who can they even realistically look to replace him? This is their guy, dude. This is their guy.
Next season, I didn't mean he gets fired. I just said is next season it? Like, does he have to produce next season?
In my mind, he had to produce this season.
And he did produce this season.
You got the Michigan Slappies who go 10-win seasons, nothing to sneeze at.
Well, exactly. And sitting here, we want him to beat Ohio State, obviously. We want him to be in the playoffs, obviously. However, where they were to where they are, yeah, a lot of people are going to go 10-win season. You can't really, shy away from. He did beat Penn State. He did beat Michigan State. He did win the games he needed to win. He needs to hit that next hurdle. He needs to beat Ohio State. Yes, he does.
How about a top 10 team?
He needs to beat a top 10 team, sure.
Gotta put that on his to-do list, too. Beat Georgia. Beat Clemson. Beat Alabama. Beat Oklahoma.
Beat Florida.
Yeah, beat Ohio State. Beat Notre Dame.
Absolutely preaching to the choir, man. That's why it's so frustrating, because eventually, the Sparty fan base that was established in 2008 will come out and start going, so what's with your boy? And I'm like, If you're expecting me to defend him, you got the wrong Michigan fan, dude. Seriously. I bought into the hype. Nope, no more. There's no more hype to be had, in my opinion. It's shit or get off the pot time. And it's been that way for the last 2 seasons, in my opinion.
It's Al Davis time. Just win, baby.
Yeah, I mean, for all the bullshit that came with him, you know, the running around with his shirt off, the climbing trees to talk to recruits, and spending nights at recruits' house, and you know, now granted, the satellite camps across the country, even though it wasn't against the rules, it was kind of like, you know, bending the rules to the point of almost a breaking point. That's a genius move. That was a Bill Belichick move. It's like, hey, it doesn't say I can't do it. And they were like, okay, well, now it says you can't do it. And he's like, oh, okay. But that's a cult of personality built around Harbaugh is what that is. And it doesn't win you games. And I mean, he's not an easy coach to play for, from everything I've heard. He's not an easy guy to get along with on just a personal level. If you're going to be difficult, you better be one of the best in the country. He's paid like he's one of the best in the country. He's talked about in certain circles like he's one of the best in the country, but he doesn't produce like he's one of the best in the country. And that's just all there is to it, man. But, you know, you're not going to hear many Michigan fans agree or say that, because it's considered sacrilege. You know, you're not a true Michigan fan if you feel that way. No, you're right. I'm a realist. I don't have my head up my ass. You're absolutely right. So if that makes me not a true Michigan fan, yep. I mean, to me, for anyone to honestly look at what Harbaugh has done since he's been at Michigan and think that he even can sniff a national championship next year, that's as stupid as the people that are like, so is this it for Nick Saban? Is he over? Is he done with? Same type of people. So,
all right. Well, spring games are in what, couple months, 3 months?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, and then signing day is real signing day, not early signing day. I mean, Ice got suckered into over Christmas break. Yeah, signing day is February 6th. So, yeah. That's it for college football. Done. See you in August. All right. So on to the pros. Let's talk about the pros, shall we?
No, hang on one second. Before we go there, it's something worth mentioning, and I want a close parking spot, so I'm going to park in front of Rich's bed. Rich, you remember the bus crash up in Canada with the hockey team?
Yeah.
The driver pled guilty, just flat out. He doesn't want a trial. He stated that he can't make anything better, but he doesn't want to make anything worse.
So he pled what, like involuntary manslaughter, vehicular manslaughter or something?
Yeah, like 16 times.
Damn. So he's never getting out of jail.
No, he's done. He's all done.
Well, I mean, you have to forgive me. I can't remember exactly the circumstances surrounding it, but was he impaired or something?
Yeah, I think it was a drunk driver of a truck and hit the bus with the hockey team.
So if he wasn't the drunk driver, though, why is he taking the guilty plea?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think he was the drunk driver of the truck.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay. I see what you're saying. All right. I got you now.
Yeah, and he just flat out was like, and this is such a Canadian move. No, I did it. Don't even go to trial. Just, I'm guilty.
They say he was sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, eh?
Sorry about that, eh? Sorry about
guilty, eh? 16 times.
Had a few too many Michelob Triple X's, buddy.
Molson Triple X.
All right, yeah, that's it. Molson Triple X.
And while I'm parked in this nice close parking spot, we talked about it last week, Rich, with the Winter Classic. Mm-hmm. I wanted to give you a quick second to respond to the question Chris asked me. Has it outlived its purpose? Do you think it's still a draw?
It's not a draw for me. I unless my team's in it, I'm not really watching it. Or, I mean, if I catch it, cool. But I don't it's not like must-see appointment television.
That was more my question last week. Like, is it appointment television for anybody anymore? I think the first few years it was.
It is for a lot of hockey fans because they like the novelty of it. And reminds them of, playing outside when they were kids and pond hockey and all that, blah, blah, blah. But to me, it's just like, it's turned into a marketing thing. Okay, they whip out the jerseys are only going to use, they're not even third jerseys anymore. They're just jerseys are only going to use for the Winter Classic. So there's another opportunity to sell fans, a unique jersey. They have, one year they had Bryan Adams playing between periods. And I was like, really? Really? It is 2013 or whatever it was, and we're sitting here listening to Cuts Like a Knife. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. But the novelty of it just doesn't, it doesn't appeal to me. It is interesting. I will say this. It is interesting when the weather is like just fucking horrible. Like when it is snowing and so cold, the goalie's wearing a fucking beanie over his goalie.
Yeah, that's cool. Like Mystery Alaska and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Where the Rangers had to take shifts inside because it was too damn cold.
Exactly, yeah.
Started singing the national anthem and the Canadian national anthem and America the Beautiful, and people are like, look, you sing one more song, I'm coming over there.
Yeah, who we got, Aretha Franklin over here? Hurry the fuck up. Let's get this game going. But yeah, I mean, that is interesting, but that's like, to me, that's any sporting event. I think playoff football is a lot more interesting when the weather's like that, because you never know what the fuck's going to happen. Tuck Rule, looking at you. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for that, we probably would not have Tom Brady like we know him. Because if that hadn't happened, and the Tuck Rule wouldn't have happened, the Patriots wouldn't have won that game. Bledsoe would have probably came back at the beginning of the next season. And Brady might have went down as just a footnote in NFL history. I mean, so yeah, and I mean, there's the frozen tundra and all that shit, all those games and stuff that comes with them. So I mean, yeah, the weather's interesting, but if it's like nice, like if it's like when they're like live from San Jose, I'm like, what? Why are you playing outside in San Jose?
The same reason they're going to be playing outside in Nashville in a couple of years, I believe.
Because stupid. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, because hockey, the warm weather sport.
Well, the other thing was, Rich, is the Winter Classic this year was Boston Bruins against Chicago. Chicago is 0-for in the Winter Classic.
Well, Chicago ain't exactly setting the world on fire in their season this year also. So
Right. So, I mean, if you're going to have a Winter Classic and try to get a draw and such, don't you need to treat it like the playoffs, or not the playoffs, but the NFL season, and start flexing games to that?
The problem is, man, that you got to plan around that. I mean, when they had the Winter Classic here, it was at I think it was at Michigan Stadium. Like, it takes a lot of beforehand planning. They can't just go, okay, well, we're a month out and Detroit's stinking it up, so we're going to go ahead and move it to Chicago. It's just, I don't think it had worked that well. And on top of that, the lesser NHL teams aren't going to go for that. They're going to be like, no, we want our turn in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe if you treat it like the Super Bowl, where, you just know the site, but you don't know what teams are going to play. But once again, I don't think it's got that enough of a draw to where people are going to travel to go see their team play someplace. Like, it has to be, if it's in Chicago has to play. If it's in Boston has to play. If it's in Nashville has to play. I mean, ultimately, I always thought it was gimmicky in the first place anyways. I thought it was, like, not as bad as the glow puck, but, like maybe 4 or 5 steps removed.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out why they wanted to play outside.
Because they used to?
The novelty of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I swear that's all I can think of. But I don't know. Like I said, man, it's not a game I'm like, oh, I gotta catch this game. no matter who's playing. It's just not that for me. At one point it was, but then it got old. So,
all right.
Yeah, but I mean, few and far between in NHL isn't like that anymore.
No, that's true also.
Capitals and Penguins, you're like, oh, you want to see this. But I mean, it's very few and where you're like, oh no, got to see this.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was sitting in a hockey fan page I'm a member of, and I'm sitting there reading the conversations that are being had. And they're talking about the heated rivalry between the Rangers and the New York Islanders, and I'm like,
not since the 80s.
Who the fuck cares about that rivalry besides those two fucking teams?
I'm saying not since the 80s.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when if the Islanders been relevant recently? And the Rangers have just been like, 40-degree days since they won the cup in 94?
Yeah.
So, I'm like, all right, sure. But I guess that's what you cling to if you're, your team is kind of a 40-degree day team. I mean, hey, there's a lot of people excited that Detroit's doing as well as they are because, we might make the playoffs. And I'm just like, you dumb fucks. Can we get this rebuild started so we can get it over with so we can come out on the other side and be actual contenders instead of just first-round fodder? But no, we're going to make the playoffs. Yeah, and get bounced out in 4 games. Whoopee.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah,
It'll be awesome.
Yeah, that's like in the NFL, that's why my wife likes the Lions. It guarantees that she only has to watch it for a short amount of time.
Yep.
I was like, I still can't get over that.
Football ends for your wife in December.
And that's if she's a loyal Lions fan.
Yeah, I know, right? Some of us, it's been over since October.
Exactly.
And hey, speaking of playoffs, let's talk about the NFL playoffs.
Jesus.
Let's talk about the Colts. Let's talk about, I fucking told you, Andrew Luck, son. Fucking, I told you. The
comeback player of the year?
More than likely.
Oh, most definitely, without question. If anybody but him wins that, it's bullshit.
Who else would be eligible for it? Maybe
Carson
Phillip.
Wentz.
What's it? Maybe Phillip? Or I've heard someone else on a podcast let's call him Old Man Rivers because he is 39. But yeah, I mean, the Colts. I think Houston's spot is their run game, man. Lamar Miller ain't the guy in Houston. Lamar Miller wasn't the guy when he was in fucking Miami. I think you got Marlon Mack, you got Andrew Luck, you got T.Y. Hilton. No, I think it ends this week when they play the Chiefs. But I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Chiefs because I think the Chiefs also got the weak run game. But I felt like I was the only person in the world other than Indianapolis fans who was picking the Colts last weekend. I know you guys didn't.
No, they didn't show defense. They had a recovering quarterback with a rejuvenated tight end, and that was it. Then all of a sudden, they found a defense out of nowhere. I mean, if I was paying more attention,
Marlon Mack got healthy.
Right. I would have seen that they won, 11 out of their last 12 games, but
that's what I was about to say. I mean, if you really look at the stats of that game, Andrew Luck had just a pretty pedestrian game at quarterback. 19 for 32 for 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Marlon Mack, 24 carries, 148 yards. Like,
emphasis on the Mac.
And then, Ebron even got into the end zone and then announced, you better put some respect on my name.
The fucking touchdown machine. I swear to God. There you go, Lions. He really was a good player. He just had a shit quarterback thrown to him. Which, hey, by the way, I had this thought real quick and then we went back to the playoffs. Hey, where's all that elite talk for Stafford been this year? What happened in the last 2 seasons? Heard none of it this year. Anyway, back to the playoffs. Seahawks and the Cowboys. Any surprises here?
that it was so close.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
It was the Cowboys, so it ended how I thought it would.
It was the Zeke show. Because, Dak had a pedestrian game as well. And yeah, this game took a while to get going. Wasn't this game like 3-3 for like most of the first half?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cowboys, I mean, all right, cool, you won. But I believe they play the Rams this week. So have fun, because I think the ride ends here.
Yeah, it's a rough road for every team that won this week or last week, this upcoming week. It does not get any easier.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get to that, but holy shit.
That's called the playoffs, son.
And this is the gauntlet that you expect a team like Detroit or Tampa Bay to run. It ain't happening anytime soon, folks.
Yeah.
It's just not. Period. End of fucking story. It's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And then Chargers beat the Ravens. Again, any surprises here?
No, that was my pick. I mean,
same here.
I think that this season, this season has solidified the fact that if Phillip Rivers never wins the Super Bowl, he's still going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's kind of been the man this year.
You know, I mean,
Antonio Gates is old.
He's old in the playoffs, but it seems like the Charger choke. Well, I say it seems to be a thing of the past, but I can't say that because Phillip is 0-7 against who he's playing this coming weekend. So let's put the Charger choke being dead. Put that talk on hold until after this weekend.
Real quick, because there was an interesting internet meme going around. It was a picture of the rapper Drake, and how every team that he publicly supports loses, and he all of a sudden threw his support behind Alabama, and they lost. So now there's a petition to get him to root for Brady, to wear a Brady jersey. Which, if I'm on the Chargers, I'm like, please, I'll send you one. I'll send you an authentic one.
Yeah, I'll get one from Tom himself.
I'll send you the one he won the Super Bowl in.
Yeah.
I know the reporter, I'm just saying.
Yeah, man, Rich, you are right about this next round. So let's just talk about the one game that was a surprise, I believe, this weekend. And Ice, I believe you have feelings about this game. The Eagles, Big Dick Nick gets it done again.
No, he didn't.
To guess who?
No, he didn't.
Golden Tate.
No, he didn't.
Really? With a 2-yard touchdown pass, 4th down, less than a minute left? That's not getting it done?
Nope. The right leg of Chicago got it done for the Eagles.
I guess.
Well, okay, what about the fact that when the NFL actually reviewed that kick, that it was a Eagles player that got his hand on it and tipped it also.
Yes, was it Chris Long?
All right, it wasn't just he just missed it out of fucking nowhere. It wasn't some Ray Finkel shit.
What made it real bad is they called the timeout and he made the field goal.
Yeah, they tried to ice him.
What makes it real bad is that they let Robbie Gould go, and he's made 83 of his 85 attempts since the Bears cut him.
Yeah, that was bad.
What the fuck are you doing, Chicago? It's like Detroit getting rid of Hansen. You don't get rid of him. You let him retire, okay? The fuck? But yeah,
this was a defensive battle though. This game, and the Eagles reminded us.
Hansen was old and busted. Matt Prater's the new hotness. I'm just saying. He has the NFL record for the longest kick.
But what I'm getting at is that they let Hansen retire. They didn't cut him, and he didn't go to fucking New England or
San
something.
Francisco.
Oh, and by the way, real quick, because we kind of skipped over the game. Jesus Christ, Adam Vinatieri looks like he's about 55.
He's like 46. I'm not making that up. Let me look up his age. I heard his age the other day. I'm like, what? He's older than Brady. He is significantly older than Brady.
Dude, he is completely gray. His beard looks like Santa Claus. I mean, I showed a picture of it to a buddy of mine. And he goes, Jesus Christ, that's Adam Vinatieri?
Yes, he's 46 years old. He was born on December 28th, 1972.
God.
He started in 1995.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, if you want a long career in the NFL, be a kicker that's not named, it doesn't have the last name Grammatica, or be a long snapper.
Yeah. But yeah, just one more on this Eagles Bears game. I mean, this is disappointed in you, Chicago. Disappointed.
Well, this has to be. Well, first of all, I saw the people taking the social media to the Bears fans taking the social media, and needless to say, it was about as reserved and calm of a reaction as you'd expect from Bears fans. But two, it was like a magical season up until this game because no one expected them to do this. I mean, you know, the sports talk in Chicago was they started that team of destiny bullshit. Because when you're not when you're not a team that's expected to do it, and all of a sudden you start doing it, 2006 Tigers looking at you. That's what people start saying. I mean, the Bears got, Khalil Mack on that fucking trade. I mean, no one was expecting that. Nobody was expecting that.
No one. If you'd have told me it's September or even August, the Chicago Bears are coming out of the NFC North this year, I'd have laughed in your face. And again, we're back to pass me that crack.
This crack is good. Sprinkle some crack on them.
Yeah. So yeah, there's I mean, no way we were expecting them to be the. You'd have told me the Bears finished 12-4, the Packers finish sub 500. You told me the Lions will finish last. I believe you.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
You know what, though? And I'm going to just say this. It's not a tinfoil hat theory or anything. Because I was thinking, no, seriously. I was thinking about tinfoil hat theories, and I was like, are they getting paid to take a dive? Or, who's causing this to do? Honestly, do you know what the worst thing that happened to the NFL is? It's guaranteed contracts. Now, I know, Chris, people get injured and shit happens, but here's the thing. It causes people not to play as hard as they used to because they might get hurt. And if they fuck up, who cares? What are you going to do? Cut me? You still owe me my guaranteed money. So I hit the crossbar 5 times. So what? Pay me, bitch. Guaranteed contracts has really brought down.
This whole rant would be fine in the regular season. We're not in the regular season anymore. We're in incentive time. It doesn't matter. They've already made their money. It's incentive time now.
Right, but they're guaranteed. So now it doesn't matter. If you watch the players play, if you watch the games, the intensity, the drive, the will, it's just diminished. It's not that it's not necessarily there, but it's just like, oh, I missed. I'm sorry. Like I was talking with Deshaun Watson when I compared him to Tua. He threw an interception and Deshaun Watson was like, oh, yeah, that was me. Over on the sidelines laughing his ass off. And it's like, really? And just like you said, this is the playoffs. It's incentive time. But it doesn't matter to these motherfuckers because they already got guaranteed money.
See, I don't know in the year that they've scored the most touchdowns ever that I can buy this whole argument from you.
What are you talking about?
They've scored the most touchdowns that have ever been scored in the NFL. They've scored the most touchdowns this year. So people aren't playing with intent. I can't buy people that are playing with intensity when you got shit like that going down.
So you can't buy that corners aren't actually covering the players like they used to. Badass corners like Woodson, Barber, back in the day when Ronnie Lott was safety.
Your theory can't be selective here, Ice. It's got to apply to all players, offense and defense.
Well, you're still going to have players running out there and going, look what I can do, woohoo. You're still going to have your Antonio Browns, your Odell Beckham Jr.'s that like to show off and have a great time. But if they miss a catch, if they don't win the game, so what? Look at this great one-handed catch that I made and the touchdown dance that I can do.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Okay.
Is that part of why we watch? Is that part of why ratings were up this year?
Guaranteed money has really fucked up the play of this.
But yet you still watch. Weren't you not going to watch last year because it was the National Fake League?
That's a good point.
Dude, seriously, last year it was horrible, and you can't tell me it wasn't with all the penalties and the bullshit. They started out that way this year. You can't touch the quarterback. With as many penalties as fucking Clay Matthews got for just a regular sack because he landed on somebody. Come on now. They called an emergency meeting to change the rule.
You really need to work you need to be the next commissioner of the NFL. You really need to work for the owners. I've never seen someone root against the players as much as you do when it comes to this type of shit. Like, guaranteed money. You should have no guaranteed money. Play hard for me. Dance, boy, dance. I mean,
right? Jerry Jones, I love you.
Well, I'm serious. Even sitting here talking to you guys, if I pull so hard against, you guys pull so hard for. Oh, it's okay, Snowflake. Sit out of your bowl game and save yourself for the NFL.
Damn right. If it's the difference between being a millionaire and having to go fucking sell cars for a living, you're damn right I'm sitting out that bowl game.
You go ahead and get your guaranteed money and don't have to really play hard and have
it. Damn right. I got 5 kids to feed.
Kiss my ass.
Money.
Kiss my ass. Go out and earn your shit.
First of all, you got to understand, okay, that just because some rare air elite guys on a team, a handful of them, get massive amounts of guaranteed money on these contracts does not mean everybody on the team is getting that. So by your logic, all you have to do is play the third stringers who don't have all them big guaranteed contracts, and they're going to go out there and kill everybody. So why don't teams do that?
No clue. I don't know.
Because the third stringers aren't that fucking good. They're incapable of doing it. That's why they're not making the big contracts.
The third stringers aren't putting butts in that stadium every 2 weeks when you come home.
And believe me, what's the NFL stand for if you don't do your job? Not for long. Mm-hmm. There's been plenty of players who got the contract, started slacking, and someone came up from behind and took their job. Just like, swoop, thank you. Swiper, no swiping, fuck that. Swiper swooped your shit.
Mike Lennon, looking at you.
I mean, it's just the way it is, man. And I mean, like I said, you just need to work for the owners because, I mean, apparently they can rake in billions, and that's fine. But when the players are like, hey, I'm out here risking life and limb, can I get some of that? No. Okay. All right.
No, bullshit, dude, because they are giving it. But okay, they're not earning it now.
If there was no guaranteed money, and by the way, not the entire contract is guaranteed. Okay. I'm just saying the percentage that's guaranteed them. If they didn't get that, they could be cut at any time. And
as well they should, dude. All right, I'm going to make this personal for Chris. The one who is going to dance with the one he brought, the Vikings. Where the fuck did they go? The only thing that changed is their quarterback. That's it. And they had a healthy Delvin Cook. Where did they go? They had a quarterback with a huge contract, guaranteed money. Come on now.
They finished above 500.
Who gives a fuck? They didn't even make the playoffs. This is a team that went real far last year and was just so close.
I mean, if we really want to talk about guaranteed money, let's talk about your boy number 9.
Why you got to spin shit? You can't answer the question.
I mean, you want to bring up guaranteed money? Let's talk about number 9. What has he done at all to earn any of that money?
How about all the fourth quarter comebacks he had last season?
Yeah, how about all the ones that he had this season? All zero.
No. You asked me a question, I gave you an answer. That's how he earned it.
All
Tell
zero
me what happened to the Vikings.
They finished above 500. Well,
they
Mr.
didn't
Guaranteed
even make the playoffs.
Well, guaranteed number 9 finished 6-10.
They brought in a quarterback that was supposed to push them past where they went last year, and they fell way back.
And the Lions
guaranteed money.
Like he's won something, and they didn't.
Point proven.
By who? About what?
Me. Guaranteed money. Your boy. You like that? Yeah, you like your guaranteed money. Good for you.
Yeah, who finished above 500? Who's well more worth the money than number 9's getting paid in Detroit?
Bullshit. Neither one of them made the playoffs.
And then number 9 went 6-10.
Number 9 has been there forever. He wasn't brought in on a guaranteed salary to make him go to the playoffs.
0 fourth quarter comebacks this year.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Whoa. He was one of the. He came in before they restructured the rookie contracts. He got a big ass rookie contract for being a number 1 overall pick. All right, because it was like what, a year, the next season, the season after that. I can't remember exactly that they in the collective bargaining agreement they restructured it to where there's a cap on the rookie contracts.
Yeah, because they have.
All right.
Because he got paid to sit on the bench his rookie year. A whole lot of money.
And then, I mean, just to be brutally honest, what's his record against winning teams? Is it still like 5-40 something?
Yes. After this season, it's probably worse.
I mean, and fuck Stafford. Let's look at the top paid quarterbacks in the league. I think the top 5 paid quarterbacks in the league, none of them made the playoffs. Because that's not the model that wins in the NFL anymore. You need a quarterback like a Brady who's going to defer money so they can get more pieces. Now, let me ask you a question, though. Is that Stafford's fault that the Lions handed him all that money?
No.
Is it Cousins' fault the Vikings handed him all that money?
Yes.
How? How is it not one guy's fault, but it's another guy's fault?
Because he stayed
the same
in
scenario.
Washington. He stayed in Washington until somebody handed him that much money on a franchise tag.
Yeah, that's called getting paid. That's called...
Okay, you asked me if it was his fault. Yes, you admitted it. Thank you. Yes, it is his fault. And he took a playoff winning team back to the Stone Age. Good job. You like that.
Back to the Stone Age, 9-7, a winning record, back to the Stone Age.
A winning record is not 9-7 when you're damn near...
A winning record...
Like minutes, not seconds away from the fucking Super Bowl the season before.
A winning record
and
keeps
you
your
were
job
the only fucking thing that changed in the whole equation.
A winning record keeps your job next season.
Okay.
I just think that there's a shift going on in the NFL. The days of pay your quarterback ridiculous amounts of money and hope to win are being proven to be done and over with. All right. Obviously, look, you want the honest God's truth? You know why I think Stafford is an elite? Because in 10 years, I don't see the fire to win. I don't hear it in post-game interviews. I don't hear it in post-game press conferences. He's a tough son of a bitch. He leads by example, but he ain't Phillip Rivers out there losing his mind. He ain't holding motherfuckers' feet to the fire and holding them. He's not Ben Roethlisberger on his radio show calling out his own players for not fucking playing up to par. He's not that. And I mean, you want to get right down to it? What did he do in college? What did he do? What has he done in the pros? What's he won?
No playoff games.
Is he a good quarterback? Yes. Would a lot of teams be happy? I'd take him on Tampa Bay over fucking Captain Crableg in a heartbeat. But I was happy to see Fitzmagic starting over Captain Crableg. So it's not like I'm hard to please. Like, get me that off-brand Colin McGregor looking motherfucker to start. That's who I want. Sit down, Mr. Eat a W, and steal some crab legs. What's wrong with you? You got money, go to Red Lobster. You know? But let's not bullshit ourselves. I mean, if you want to talk about a player who's put up elite numbers, has won playoff games, has at least sniffed a Super Bowl once or twice. We're not talking about Matt Stafford. We're just not. And that's just a fact. Is he the best quarterback I've ever seen, if the Detroit Lions have in my lifetime? Without a doubt. But once again, that's not saying much, man.
I don't know. I like Eric Kramer. He's pretty good.
What, Chuck Long wasn't an elite quarterback for you, Rich?
Yeah, him and Joey Harrington, Dan Orlovsky. Oh, Charlie Batch. Yeah.
Charlie Batch with a win.
Charles Batch.
Dante Culpepper when the corpse of Dante Culpepper wandered into training camp and someone gave him a job one year.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that year. Everyone's like, we got Dante Culpepper. I was like, no, why?
Dante Culpepper come in like The Walking Dead. Like, hey, it's Dante Culpepper. Give him a contract.
Yeah.
Like, shit, just don't shoot him in the head. We'll be all right.
Should we talk about the coaching carousel before we get to the picks? Because, hey, if you want to be a head coach of something, this is your year between the NHL and the NFL. I mean, as of, well, the day after the season ended, 8 teams, if you count Cleveland and Green Bay, that look for head coaches. 25% of the teams in the NFL did not have a head coach. And I think some of the things have started to come into play. The Packers hired somebody today, am I correct? Or is that yesterday? Or was that never confirmed?
I thought it was yesterday. Hold on here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yep. 2 hours ago, he was officially named Matt Lafleur. Was it the OC from Tennessee?
Yeah.
Sure. Is this Green Bay just going, hey, we're going in a new direction? I mean, is there anything you saw out of Tennessee's offense this year that makes you go, yeah?
No.
Yes.
I gotta wonder how much of this is did the team go to Rodgers and say, who do you like? And he was like, I don't know, whoever will let me run the team. Because I don't know this guy whatsoever. Like, this isn't a name hire, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah, this isn't like Urban Meyer heading to Lambeau. No,
this isn't even Matt Patricia heading to the Lions. Like, for better or for worse, you know, anytime a coordinator or an assistant coach leaves New England, it's a big deal. Even though the vast majority of them haven't really had success, just to be honest with you. Except for when they play New England.
Mm-hmm. You
know, Mike Vrabel and Matt Patricia, you know, proved that this year. But I'm just like, was he highly sought after? I mean, but then again, who are you going to do? What are you going to do? You going to go get Bruce Arians?
Like the Bucks did? Because it went so well in Arizona. Let's give him another shot, right? He's already got the red in his wardrobe. Let's change the logos.
Well,
how you feel about that, Rich?
Looking at BucksNation.com, I'll read you this quote. Arians left the Arizona Cardinals following the 2017 season, citing health issues. Those issues have since been fixed, and when it was time to throw his Kangol hat back in the ring, the Bucks were the team he was fixated on. His relationship with Jason Litch played a big role, as well as his relationship with Jameis Winston.
Well, guess who ain't going away?
Yes. Then he goes on to say, well, he's worked with some incredible quarterbacks like Peyton Manning, Roethlisberger, Andrew Luck. Are you really putting those three in the same breath as Jameis Winston?
They just did.
Fuck out of my face. Come on now. So, yeah, I don't see where were you saying they gave up draft picks for him, Earl? Did we lose Earl?
Stand by. He's still on the call. Maybe he's on a work call. I did see something about picks.
Sorry, yeah. Was working.
Yeah, Bucks Cardinals swap picks as part of Bruce Arians' deal.
Yeah, they actually gave up picks to get a coach.
Yeah, they did that with Gruden too.
But he doesn't. Was he still with the organization? He didn't coach for him anymore.
That's what I'm saying. He left after the 2017 season.
So why are there draft picks involved?
Maybe because he left because of health reasons. They still had. He was still under contract with them.
Sure.
Here's the interesting thing. According to Ian Rappaport, among the coaches Arians hopes to finalize deals with Brian Leftwich as pass game coordinator. Really?
Byron Leftwich.
Really? Okay. Oh, God.
Let's see. What else? Yeah. Who the fuck is Cliff Kingsbury, besides the coach for the Arizona Cardinals? Who the hell is this guy?
Okay. All right. Cliff Kingsbury coached at Texas Tech. He had a quarterback there. You might have heard of him. His name is
Michael.
Pat.
Hang on one
Okay.
second.
Mike, hey, Mike, so you know, I called Ian. So
God damn it. What the fuck is happening? Okay.
Cliff Kingsbury coached for Texas Tech. He had a quarterback. You might have heard of him. His name is Patrick. Last name is Mahomes.
Yes. Also Davis Webb.
Yes.
Baker Mayfield. Johnny Football. And then your boy, Case Keenum.
Also got fired after compiling a 35-40 record in 6 seasons.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Here you go. Here's a classy move. Signed on to be USC's offensive coordinator in December, but then the NFL came calling. Yeah. So
you could argue he was already with a pro team.
Well, yeah. Great, wonderful.
Yeah. So, and that's for the carousel. That's about it at the moment. You guys heard anything else for any of these teams?
Did you guys already mention Matt Lafleur?
Yeah. And what's your take on Lafleur? Because both Rich and I are just like, huh?
That's what I said. I'm sorry, who? You're Green fucking Bay. I mean, I understand I'm a fan of a rival team and division and all that good shit, but at the same time, really?
Well, I guess we're in good company because Deion Sanders said the exact same thing. His quote was, "Are you kidding me?" So,
serious, real talk.
Yeah, like I said, what about Tennessee's season made Green Bay go, yes, we would like that? I mean, Derrick Henry the last 3 games, I mean, that's about it.
That's why I said, is there something we're missing here? Is it a case of the team went to Rodgers and said, who do you like? And he said, who will let me run the team?
Is this a Jason Garrett type hire where it's gonna be a puppet regime?
Well, because I mean, they were talking to Josh McDaniels from New England, but apparently McDaniels is now staying in New England because Green Bay was his only interview.
Damn.
So obviously he wanted that job, or else he's like, if I can't have the Packers job, I'll just stay my ass in New England.
Yeah, the offensive coordinator was like, okay, there's nothing better out here. I'm good. I'm going to sit here by the fireplace.
Because that job's his once Belichick goes away.
I'm getting a Kaepernick feel with coaches.
What do you mean?
How come nobody's hired Caldwell?
He's been interviewed. He's been interviewed twice, I think. The Browns and somebody else.
Yeah, the Packers. Packers interviewed him.
Right, and you think LaFleur is better than Caldwell? Really?
It depends on his style, I guess. Caldwell's had his couple shots. Caldwell is proven to be, I mean, he's better than average, but he's better than average in the middle of the road, if that makes any sense. The Packers need a winning culture, not a treading water culture.
Yeah, but he's better than average with the Detroit fucking Lions.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair.
I mean, look at Caldwell with the Lions compared to the, quote, Patriot way with Matt Patricia and the Lions. Come on, man.
Well, I was going to say, also, he did take a Colts team to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he didn't win that one.
And the Lions into the playoffs.
Yeah, but he also has a quarterback named Peyton Manning.
No, I understand that, but I mean, if you can't have Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers isn't a bad substitute.
I'm saying,
You know, talk about, you know, an embarrassment of riches. I mean, come on now. I don't know. Unless Green Bay is like, I can't imagine this, because Green Bay has been at least in the mix since, 95?
Yeah.
In some form or another. Yeah, they may have a down year here or there, like they just had. But I can't imagine they're going, okay, fuck it. Even though we might only have a couple more seasons with Rodgers left, we're going into full rebuild mode. I can't imagine they're doing that.
No, here's how he got the gig. He was Sean McVay's offensive coordinator last year.
Okay.
Dude, he, like it or not, he's the golden boy in the NFL right now as far as coaches go. He's the young phenom. Like, I was just, I saw something. It's, you know, it's obviously a joke, but it kind of says where kind of the owners' heads are at right now. It was a tweet that was talking about, you know, how to get a coaching gig this NFL offseason. It was like, to do you know Sean McVay? To yes, you are hired. To no, you are not hired. Like, for some reason, he's the golden boy right now, and he's found the secret sauce, and some of these owners, I guess, are trying to find the next version of him. So, hey, if you worked for him, you get a job. Is that how it's going?
Well, here's the thing. We talked about it with the Steelers and Tomlinson. The Steelers are the type of team that doesn't hire stopgaps as coaches. They are in it for the long haul. They hire very few, and they're very, you know, calculated when they hire. Green Bay is the same way.
Then maybe they see something in this cat that we don't. I mean, they do football for a living. We do it for fun. So maybe defer to the experts on this one. I don't know.
I mean, but I get that Sean McVay is like, you know, the new hotness and all this shit, but that's also just outside of Pete Carroll. Every coach in the NFC West is young. That seems to be just like the trend is like get the young guy. It's almost like we're seeing the changing of the guard to where, you know, guys who we grew up with that were staples, you know, are now retired and they're not coming back. Gruden is the outlier. You know, he came back, and, you know, it can be argued that he probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, whoops.
But I mean, you know, Dungy ain't coming back. Cowher ain't coming back. You know, the guys we grew up, you know, Tom Coughlin ain't coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys we grew up, and they were just like, oh, anytime there was an opening, these were guys that were mentioned. Jesus Christ, as recently as like 5-6 years ago, anytime there was an opening, you know, think we could get Cowher? Think they could get Dungy?
No.
You know, it's like, no, these guys are happily retired and into normal life now.
Yeah, but fucking Gruden's going to just ruin those conversations. Oh, Gruden came out of the booth. You never know with these guys. Him, you know who's going to ruin it for everybody? Him and Herm Edwards. They were both like a decade into their TV career, and then just said, fuck it, I want to be a coach again.
I'd really like to know what their relationships with their wives are like at this point. Because it just seems like it's like this is their version of buying a Mazda Miata midlife crisis. Like, okay, my marriage is falling apart. Let me go back to what I know, coaching. And Gruden ends up in Oakland, stinking up the joint. And what the fuck did Edwards do?
Beat Michigan State.
And
that's not really a resume builder at this point.
You know, so I don't know. It is a copycat league. You can just point to. I mean, there's, you know, when the Wildcat was hot, there was teams that were trying it for, you know, a season or two. Then it was, you know what I'm saying. It's a copycat league. On top of it, the league has probably more parity than it's had in a long time. I mean, we're not even done with the season, and I can say this was a pretty damn good season of pro football.
Yeah. This is one of the better seasons in recent memory.
Exactly, yeah. You know, I mean, ultimately the teams that you figured would be there are for the most part. But there was some surprises.
Yeah. I mean, there are
Chicago looking at you.
Mm-hmm. But also, too, in this week coming up, there are 3 teams that we left for dead, like back in October.
Oh, yeah.
Indy, Dallas, and Philly. We pretty much, in October, November, were like, hey, thanks for playing, guys.
Especially
but that's
Indy.
like I said. Indy won like 10 of the last 11 games. I mean, they just won out.
Indy was like, that's right. Just keep not paying attention to us.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
Gonna get in under that radar.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I have to bring this up. Did you guys hear the Twitter controversy revolving around Andrew Luck and an animation that was used during the game, comparing him to a Civil War soldier or general? Because you know how he's got that look about him.
Mm-hmm.
They played an instrumental flute version of Dixie, and people lost their mind online. Yeah.
I just don't have the energy for that shit anymore. Like, I'm just let you finish saying it and let everybody hear how stupid it sounds, and then just move on. I'm just gonna put this there. Let it just sink in how stupid it sounds. We're just gonna move on because, yeah, young people, I'm out. Officially, I'm only 39. I sound like I'm 60. I want no part of what's going on with the young people nowadays. I don't understand it. I do not get it, nor do I want to participate in it.
I will say this. Instead of it becoming a major issue / story being pushed by, the 4-letter network, which maybe a couple seasons ago it probably would have been, especially with some people who aren't there anymore. It was treated like it should have been treated. Okay, this is Twitter outrage by a handful of people who just won't shut up about it.
That probably don't even like football.
This is not America speaking. This is a handful of assholes.
Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
By the way, Rich, just to comment on what you just said about ESPN, I did read an article. It says about they have a new boss. They had one for 2018, whose goal was to take them back to how they used to be. They had a new chief over there that realized that they were losing their way and went, "Hey, don't we do sports?"
Well, what's funny
is it's kind of why this year it's kind of been like we haven't really bitched about ESPN that much in 2018.
That's because they got rid of people who forgot that they're there to talk about sports. They're not there to be the story themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And they really have.
I mean, I was, I want to say in the last couple weeks, we just passed the anniversary of either Stuart Scott's death or his birthday or something. But the reason I bring it up is because someone posted like a best of YouTube video of him, and it was him doing all his Stuart Scott stuff, the commercials, everything that goes with it. And I forgot how much fucking fun it was when he was there to watch him and Scott Van Pelt go back and forth. Mm-hmm. Like, it was fun. I wasn't being preached at. I wasn't being talked down to. They had fun. They did goofy commercials, and nobody took things too seriously because ultimately they all remembered it's sports, folks.
Well, that's one of the points the article made was that exactly what you just said, Rich, is they realized that with the exception of the late night sports center with SVP, that personality-driven programming in kind of what ESPN does. The sports is the programming. And it's exactly what they've gotten away from. It's nothing that this article is talking about. Like, the shows are about sports again.
Well, I mean, if you live in a sports city where your teams aren't really doing shit, you can have a Mike Valenti like we have here in Detroit, or Drew Sharp when he was alive. Someone who's always always just bitching and complaining, and people tune in to listen to him rant, or to these people rant, you can get away with that to an extent. When you are on a national stage, your job is to present national sports stories in an entertaining and fun way. And believe me, if you're good at it, the fame will come.
Stuart Scott, looking at you.
Scott Van Pelt, Boomer. I mean, to a lesser extent, you got, Barry Melrose, I mean, even
Bob Levy.
Even beloved figures outside of ESPN who were known as personality guys like Don Cherry, even that's starting to wear thin. I mean, he's put out Rock'em Sock'em tapes or DVD tapes and DVDs for 30 years. He's calling it quits on it. Coach's Corner used to be essentially whenever they cut to the studio, it was Coach's Corner time. Now it's a tiny segment, It's just, and look at who NBC has, Doc Emmerich, very non-controversial, except for a lot of people hate the man, but whatever. So I don't know. It good for ESPN. Yeah. I mean, because. Really, I think we said it when we were in the middle of our ESPN bitch fest. Sports, like talking heads, reporters, should be like officials. If we're talking more about them instead of the game, there's an issue there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Like Shamel.
Yeah. I mean, and she went someplace where, I think she still works for The Root. That's right up her alley. It's sports with an agenda and a narrative, and you know what you're getting when you log onto that site.
But here's the thing, though. Bent. You don't hear about her anymore.
Well, I was just gonna say, because she went to somewhere where you're like, what's that? Never heard of it. So you don't hear from her anymore.
Right.
But the people who go to theroot.com know what they're looking at. They're getting what they want. Trying to force politics into a sports highlight show is shoving, a square block through a round hole. That's not what people want.
Right. I said it. Well, I said it a bunch of times. I turned on ESPN and thought I turned on CNN. Like, what the fuck am I watching? This is supposed to be Sports Center, and I'm hearing about Trump. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care what Trump said. I don't care what influences the government has on sports. Well, who won the fucking game?
Yeah. Can I see Patrick Mahomes' no-look pass, please?
Please.
Yeah, I know. And somehow don't draw a parallel between that and Trump talking about the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they have nothing to do with each other. I don't care how much you stretch before you try the mental gymnastics. You're still going to pull something.
Right. And it wasn't just politics. It was everything. It was racism, sexism. If you had an ism, there was an ism for it.
Well, that's
the one chick who's not watching football because of women or some shit.
I don't know.
Who immediately got fired because they were like, hey, well, you were put on the show to talk about college football and you're not going to watch it, so bye.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great move. Like, oh, okay, cool.
You don't want to do your job? 2-1's pimping.
Yeah. Peace.
You fucked up. You know you fucked up, right?
Yeah, you fucked up. You know that, right?
But yeah, so it was just interesting to see that the best of YouTube video, because it was just like, wow, man, this is when the shit was fun. This was when this was when I would turn on ESPN in the morning and leave it on all morning.
Well, here's the thing. I said this a few weeks ago. ESPN has become ESPN again. You turn it on at any time of the day and there's some type of game on. There's something about some sport. There's not people sitting at a desk going, and then Trump said, or and then the black man didn't, and then we should have knelt for, and there's none of that.
Yeah, they figured out that leading with women's sports for the 6 p.m. Sports Center probably not the best move.
Right, and there's a college game, there's a pro game of some league, there's a highlight show specifically on sports that's talking specifically about that sport and nothing else. Now, granted, there's a lot of people here that I've never seen before, and I couldn't tell you their names as soon as I see them, but they are sticking strictly to the script of sports. So it is getting back to the ESPN of old, no doubt about it. I haven't turned on ESPN one time and oh shit, here we go. But then again, I boycotted, First Take, so I don't know what the hell Stephen A. Smith is saying.
Stephen A. Smith type things.
Yeah.
Well, he is once again, he is the exception.
He's the Jesse Jackson.
I think he gets the pass because he's one of those people that if you agree with him, of course you have no problem with what he says. If you don't agree with him, you love to hate him. It's the Howard Stern thing. The average Howard Stern listener listens for 45 minutes. The average Howard Stern hater listens for 2 hours.
Yeah, you talk about him an awful lot for hating him.
The most reason given, I want to see what he's going to say next.
Exactly. And for the most part, he doesn't bother me because I've lived through Rob Parker here in Detroit.
And I guess, too, at some point... And
at least Stephen A. Smith... Sorry, Chris, I just want to interject this one last thing. At least Stephen A. Smith can deliver his opinion that I don't agree with in a somewhat interesting, entertaining way versus Rob Parker just going, come on!
No, I think at some point, probably just being exposed to him a lot more doing this show. At some point, it's just Stephen A. Smith being Stephen A. Smith. I'm sure the young kids that work at ESPN, the interns, are just like, that's the old man who yells every morning. Just ignore him. He'll be done by 10:30.
Yeah, the irony is that I'm sure if you asked Stephen A. Smith when he was younger, do you want to be known as the token angry black guy? He'd have said no, but he's now known as the token angry black guy. Like that stereotypical, remember on episodes of The Real World for in the late 90s, early 2000s, every time the black guy was on, he's like, I don't want to be known as the angry black guy. You have one on every season. I'm not that guy. Well, guess what? Enter Stephen A. Smith.
Well, yeah, but too, being an angry black guy has gotten him summer house money, so I'm sure he ain't that mad at it.
Now, see, this is why, Rich, you should start watching ESPN again. Right now, they're doing the Pride of Pittsburgh careers. Mario Lemieux and Sidney Crosby. Games 9:15 and 9:04. Points 1,700 to 1,100. Goals 690 to 431. It's kind of like saying, good try, kid, but you ain't him.
Yeah, and by the way, Mario's career was sidelined by leukemia for 2 seasons.
Good try, kid. Nah.
See, I thought Icy were saying that they were going really old school because it's 1 a.m. and I thought there'd be 2 white guys on boxing right now.
They're both Irish.
Yeah, that meant that back in the day, kids, that meant you were up late. There are 2 white guys boxing on ESPN. You're like, oh, it's time to go to bed.
Oh shit, I gotta go to school.
Yeah.
And if you were on even later, it was the replay of the NHL game where they kept saying after every commercial break, due to time constraints, we're going to move ahead in the action. And you're like, wait a minute, it was just literally 5 minutes into the first period. Now there are 2 minutes left in the third. You just skipped the whole game.
It's at that point you're going, yeah, I'm fucking missing homeroom.
Waiting for 6 a.m. Sports Center to start in about 10 minutes. All right. So, should we talk about division weekend? Make our picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
Lakers suck.
Oh, it's because LeBron's hurt.
Lakers suck, period.
Make me look up the record, aren't you? you rat
No,
bastard.
no. I'm not going to make you look up the record. They're playing Detroit soon.
Okay. Well, problem solved? What does that even mean?
I'm just saying, Lakers suck. Lakers are 20-14 with LeBron and 2-5 without LeBron.
Yeah. Guess that means they need LeBron.
They need something because they suck.
Yeah, they're still over 500 and they'd make the playoffs. The playoffs started today. Yep. They suck ass. All right.
Right. But on catch and shoot jumpers without LeBron, it's 29.
Division weekend. All right.
Right.
Yeah, Rich. Jesus Christ. You were talking about the 4 teams that won. Yeah, have fun this weekend because we'll start in Arrowhead where the Colts will be heading to play the Chiefs. As far as standings, I crunched all the numbers. Somebody new in first. It's me by 1 game.
That national championship game fucked me.
It's a hell of a crunch.
That was my tiebreaker because I was 2 for 2, and then that national championship game happened.
I'd like to give it to Indy. I'd like to thank Indy. I'm gonna thank the Colts for propelling me ahead the 1 game. For the record, I had like the last the week that counted that we picked, which was the second week 16. Probably like my best week of the year as far as picks. I think I got like 1 wrong. But as far as the picks, I'm in first, 168, 96 and 2, 632. Richard in second, right behind me, 167, 97 and 2. Ice, thanks for playing. You're 158, 106 and 2. You're 594 though. So I guess
you fell below 600. Damn, that's rough for a guy like you.
Dude, this whole season is all about what the fuckins, dude. Things happening left to right, and I'm just sitting here going, how the fuck?
I'm going to pick Ice Rich me. I'm going to pick last for once. So, Colts, Kansas City. Who's winning, Ice?
You had a good run, kid. Had to end it sometime. We're going Chiefs. You won the last 10 out of 11, but you ain't beating Mahomes. No fucking way is he going to have a season like he had and then come out and lay an egg. Not at home.
When you said kid for a minute, I thought you were going to pick the Colts.
No, I'm
yeah, me too.
I was talking about to luck. Had to end sometime.
No, I got you. Well, I mean, they're all kids to us at this point, except for Vinatieri's old ass. Santa Claus looking motherfucker. Santa Claus is an anorexic bitch.
Hey, but he still ain't hitting fucking pulls.
No. I Chiefs.
Yeah, Ice, everything you said. Sorry, Mahomes ain't losing at home. Let's just fill up next round, but we'll get there. All right. So yeah, give me the Chiefs. Next up, Saturday slate. Jerry's kids going to see the Rams in L.A.
Man, this is the game to watch. Really, it is. No, I can't do it. I got to go Rams. I wanted to pick the Cowboys, but they barely squeaked it out last week. Yeah, they're not going to squeak shit out. You know Sean McVay? Yeah, you win.
You know, it's funny. I was reading an article earlier today about what team is more scary in the playoffs at this point, the Cowboys or the Eagles. And I'm just like, really? Like, the Eagles I can see a little bit because they compared them to both giant slayers, and I'm like, were the Seahawks giants? Really? Did I miss that memo? I not get it? But, yeah, I don't think the Rams got any flex in them. I don't think they're worried about the Cowboys. I think it's going to be the Rams.
And so do I. Yeah, sorry, Dallas. You know, you were left for dead. You came, you got Amari Cooper. You're brought back to life. You made it to the playoffs. You won a game, and here's where the ride ends. See ya. Give me the Rams. Okay, so next up, the Sunday games. First game, the Chargers heading to New England. Old Man Rivers taking on Old Man Tom.
Bye, Rivers. Patriots.
Patriots at home. Can't pick against them, man. Give me the Patriots.
Well, I can. Give me the fucking Chargers. I like the Chargers' offense a lot more than I like New England's offense. I know New England's at home.
You and Shannon Sharp.
Yeah. Dude, Phillip Rivers, Keenan Allen, Melvin Gordon. Done. Versus who? Brady, Edelman, and what running backs starting this week?
And Gronk.
Yeah. Gronk. Gronk is...
And Burkhead.
After this season, Gronk ain't Gronk anymore, man. Like,
he's still big enough to beat the Chargers' ass. I mean, if anything, you put him with Antonio Gates.
I just got to go back to the preseason when Shannon Sharp said Chargers were his fucking pick for the Super Bowl, and I was like, wow, that's a bold fucking pick right there. And here we are going into the divisional round, and he looks like a fucking, fortune teller. So maybe I'm wrong to pick the Patriots. It's like Michigan versus Ohio State. Until they do it consistently, I can't pick against Ohio State.
It's fair.
Patriots aren't going to make it to the bowl, but Chargers ain't the one that's going to stop them.
All right. What's your opinion, and you're entitled to it?
But they got to be to recruit and rest and get healthy. No, it's just not going to happen.
All right. We'll see, man. We will see.
But I understand. It's not. No, I'm just going to fuck with you.
AFC divisional play, or the NFC divisional playoffs. Eagles heading down to New Orleans, playing Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara.
Fly, Eagles, fly. All the way home, because you done lost. Fucking Saints. Old and busted fucking Breeze. You son of a bitch. Way to make me look like I have no idea what I'm talking about. Give me the Saints.
This is the rough one of the week for me.
Really?
Here's why. The Eagles know they can win with Big Dick Nick under center. But knowing they can win and executing are two different things. And it's Drew fucking Brees, dude. I mean, we've planned his wake a few times on this show over the years, and it just ain't happened. Fuck. Give me the Saints.
Yep, me too. Let's just think about it last year, right? I mean, the Eagles were your pick last year, Rich, and you're like, hey, don't sleep on the Eagles. And then we watched them all year, and all year they were just that. They were that defense all year last year. They, everybody talked about them. We talked about them. Oh, that Eagles defense. I just don't see that this year. It's good, yes, but this team does not look like the same team that they did last year. Give me the Saints. My prediction is that we need a pool at work. Phillip and Drew go to the Super Bowl. Drew beats Phillip, then retires. But yeah, give me the Saints.
And shit, you got it planned out.
Yeah. No, one of them goes out on top. I think if any old quarterback wins it this year, whether it's Brady, Breeze, or Phillip, I predict that they go out on a high note. Brady says he's playing to like he's 45?
Yeah, Brady's still talking all that good shit about he ain't done no matter what this season.
Oh shit!
They did go 11-5. It's another thing that we mentioned on one of the shows you missed, Rich. For all the talk everybody did about the Patriots don't look like themselves, they have another fucking first round bye. They won their division. They may not look like the Patriots of the past, but I mean, as far as the Patriots go, they checked all the boxes they were supposed to check this season. With maybe the one exception was no home field in the playoffs.
It's the fucking Patriots, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you just until that team is blown up. You got to give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, if Brady stays and they pick a fucking quarterback, then the writing's on the wall. Okay, the clock's ticking on Brady. But then again, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's just been too many reports coming out of New England over the years. Brady's not real fond of his backup quarterbacks. Why? Because he's not going to get Bledsoe'd. If you're too good and you're his backup, you gotta go. He'll see you he'll walk you to the fucking to the security checkpoint at the airport. You know.
Here. We'll send you to San Francisco where you can get hurt in Game 3.
Yeah.
All right. Feels a little empty with no college game to pick. Feels like we didn't pick everything, but that's it. That's all you get. And the week after this, there'll only be, 2 games to pick, and then the one big game. But till then, we are on Spotify, because we're allowed to be now. Because I don't know why they kept independent people away from Spotify for so long, but now we're there. So you listen to your music there, you listen to your podcast there too. Also, if you're an Android person, it's a much easier place to go than one of the 3,000 choices that you have to listen to us. You can always check us out on Google Play as well, or just go to ChristopherMedia.net. I'm going to cut out the middleman. Welcome to all the new listeners. New shows drop every Thursday, and we will see you next week.
Later, guys.
Peace out, y'all.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
At Jewelers Mutual, we're a little obsessed with jewelry. Obsessed like auctioneers with talking fast.
50, we're going to sold.
Pop stars with auto-tune. And dentists with asking questions.
So, how did he propose?
After they've put their hands in your mouth.
Great.
Yes, we've made jewelry our obsession for over 100 years. We love it so much we named our kids Ruby, Amber, and Opal.
Venti soy latte for Opal?
At Jewelers Mutual, we insure jewelry and only jewelry, which is why people who are also obsessed with jewelry trust us with theirs.
ChristopherMedia.net.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.